Guna fam, what's good? It's Keisha. It's match day. We're down 2-1 to Brighton. Bit of a disappointing result, but got a bit of a surprise as we have special guests all the way from PE that decided to join us on the call. We have the PE Supporters Club founder, Murray, and the marketing promoter, Earl, who's gonna give us a bit about tell a bit about themselves and then also just give us some fan views. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Yeah, Murray.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Okay, yeah. So we part of the Arsenal Supporters Club in Port Elizabeth, and firstly, thank you so much for having us. It's been a long trek. I mean, I started becoming an Arsenal supporter quite a couple of years ago. At school, it was always like the Man United crowd when the Beckhams and the Solskjaers and the Giggs and all of that was there. Everyone was talking about them. But then eventually when you start, having your own opinion, you sort of see the badge, you see the Arsenal badge, you hear the commentators talking nonsense about our players, even though we're 3-0 up. And I was like, no, that's got to be my team. And I've been Arsenal supporter since maybe about started five, so that's maybe about 1999, 1998. Without giving away my age there, sorry. Yeah, I've actually and I've been to England. I've watched the two games. I actually saw the Arsenal Middlesbrough game. We won 2-0. I think Fabregas scored that in 2008, 2009, and I managed to watch a Champions League game, the AZ Alkmaar game as well, and I think we won 4-1 if I'm not mistaken. Fabregas with a long range effort right in front of me, which was absolutely fantastic. So having that, it was actually quite a like a privilege. And then I came back to South Africa and I thought, PE doesn't have the supporters club, and it took quite a couple of years. We started off at a place called I think it was called. Oh, help me out here. I
Brazen
can't
Edge.
the Brazen Head. Yes, yes, that was it. That's it. And then they actually closed down a day after our victory over Chelsea in the FA Cup. So we were all panic stations as to where we're going to find a new venue for the upcoming season. Thankfully, we found a week before the season kicked off, we found a place called Eddie Max at VP, and we haven't actually looked back. It's a sort of a small little pub and a small little restaurant, but we've been given our own little corner there. We can put up our own flags. The staff there is absolutely fantastic, to the point where, we sort of come in and they already know what our order is. They've got our glasses there. They've got our tables set out. They've got X amount of waitresses, set out there for us. Maybe just tell a little bit more about the club, some of our achievements. So we've been going for about maybe 4 or 5 years, but we've really started to gain traction now. Once we've found a venue that we are very comfortable with. I mean, we've got a football field like right on our actual doorstep as we walk out of the place. So it's really awesome. We were actually very privileged to host some of the Arsenal coaches that came down as as sort of like a gap year type of thing, where they did some community work in the yeah, so we had them around, and that was just in time for the Europa League final. So we had a lot of raffles going around, to try and raise funds for them. We auctioned off some jerseys and jackets straight from Arsenal, so that's been really awesome. We actually have a lot of upcoming things, coming through. So we constantly, I'm constantly talking to our team, and Earl being one of them. He's the marketing genius behind, the Twitter accounts, the Facebook, the Instagrams, the everything. So we've got all to thank for that. But yeah, we looking at a lot of bigger things coming through. I don't think any other supporter club has done. I don't want to give too much into it, just in case. Yeah, no, look, it's been a struggle. I mean, the flag behind me, I don't know if you can see that. We actually got that approved from Arsenal themselves. We couldn't actually get it printed here, and it's a custom made one. So they said, listen, go ahead, as long as you're not selling it, then that's cool. So we have this at every single game. It's there, flying high, in our little venue, and we try to bring the noise. We've had some great turnouts. We've had some great performances. I mean, one that really comes to mind is the Tottenham game where we came back from 2-0 down, and I think that we lifted the roof of that place. So we have a decent turnouts most times. And yeah, we hope to grow, and we hope to bring greater things to the supporters in Port Elizabeth.
Well, I think covered a lot of it. I probably started supporting early 90s. I'm older than, than Murray by far. So I definitely started supporting early 90s. I think it was that Monday Night Football on SABC, still SABC 1 or SABC 2. That's when I first started falling in love with Arsenal. And after that, I never looked back, watching the games all the time, buying merchandise. I've gone through so many shirts already, destroyed in the washing and stuff. Yeah, I'm that fun guy. Go out crazy, get the tops, get everything done. Marketing, I've done the marketing. So I'm not going to talk about everything else because Mari's covered a lot of it already. But no, I'm a chill guy. We enjoy watching the game together, and I've done a trip to Cape Town to see the guys over there, warn them, chill with them that side as well. We've extended an invitation to them to come down to P. And then COVID hit because they were supposed to come down this year.
Okay.
So we were going to do exchange. They come down. We all organize accommodation for them. They stay. We play a few football games against each other, Cape Town versus PE, and then we do the same that side. But unfortunately, COVID
really
came,
cool.
so we have to postpone that probably till 2022.
Sure. Well, that really sounds cool. Damn, you guys are doing. I don't know what they have in the Cape Water there or something, because both those supporters clubs down there are doing some crazy stuff. And you know what? Like from our perspective, I'm a supporter since like late 90s, I'd say, with like 98 World Cup, and then there was always that choice. You always Liverpool, United. And when I saw Arsenal play,
That's
it's
it.
the class and the finesse that we had. And I
That's
thought we
it.
want that English team. So that's just a brief history. And when we started this channel, when we got in and we saw the Joburg Supporters Club, we didn't know it was this big. And then just to actually have you guys on talk about it, just like gives me goosebumps. And it's just actually a privilege. It's more our privilege to have you guys on, and we thank you again. So, but without further ado, I think we need to get into the matter of hand, So tonight, away at Brighton, with fans or no fans, I think with COVID or no COVID, we should get used to Arsenal, I suppose. But yeah, 2-1 defeat, disappointing. We can take it stage by stage. I like to always break it down, like how did you feel about the lineup and the first half, and then obviously break down, we'll talk about the second half, and then obviously where the positives and negatives were. So we'll go into like how you guys felt about the lineup going into the first half, and then at the break, being 0-0 down. What are you guys' feelings around that?
When I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, we've actually got quite a strong side going forward. I mean, seeing Tyranny on the left, or Kieran on the left, and I was thinking, okay, he's going to start whipping balls. Sorry, it was Saka on the left. Sorry.
Oh yes.
And Kolasinac, yes. Sorry, thinking of the City game. And I thought, okay, we've got somebody beefy at the back, that's going to be good. And I think Saka showed his worth on the left, and I think he's got to stay on the left. Playing him on the right at City was one of the biggest mistakes that Arteta made. He didn't have that freedom to cut in and take the shot. He wasn't confident on his weaker foot. I mean, he hit the bar. I mean, I still said to Earl, I said, I'm so used to Arsenal defending that I sort of breathed a sigh of relief when they hit the bar, but then I realized that we actually taken the shot, and I was like, oh, okay, wait, hang on. That nearly went in for us. But I was confident, and I think Leno was very unlucky to sort of get injured. Yeah. I still want to sort of look at that. I know I sound like Wenger now, and I didn't quite see the actual incident, but it almost looked like there was a bit of a confrontation with the guy who actually scored the winner for Brighton.
Oh yes.
And Leno didn't look happy, and the rest of the Arsenal squad, I think that showed at full time. I know I'm jumping ahead, but it showed at full time that they weren't happy with this guy. I'm thinking that that we need more protection from the refs.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Going into the break 0-0, I was happy. I was like, okay, cool. Big ups to actually not conceding. We had our chances. Abba had a chance in the first 3 minutes with the bicycle kick.
Yes.
Is it flamboyant? Yeah, possibly. I think let's stick to the basics until the confidence is at its high, and then let's just try slotting the goals. Lacazette also going low with the head. But I keep going on about this with the supporters club. Like, why are we actually shooting low? I mean, if you look at all of our chances, we're constantly shooting for the bottom corner, and the keeper has a better chance of getting it. But then, as soon as you hit it high, or try to get top corner, or at least where the keeper's got to try and make a jump, we're scoring goals. I mean, the keeper's firing it away, and there's a play coming up for the for the follow up. So, what is in Arsenal's sort of mentality to shoot low? I mean, the defenders are sliding in low, keepers diving in low. Keeper's not going to save it up top. We've got to start shooting up, and it's quite frustrating seeing that, because I mean, you look at the invincible season. I know every Arsenal supporter goes on about the invincible season, but you look at that era of the Henrys and the Bergkamp. They weren't slotting the balls in low. If they were, it was precise. It was finessed in. But if it was from distance, or if it was in the box with a bunch of defenders around them, they made sure that was in the top corner. It hit the back of the net hard. We rolling the ball in. It's not on. It's not acceptable. City, Liverpool, all of them are hitting the back of the net hard. We can't score goals if we're just going to try and pass the ball and not have that that killer mentality. And it shows. Brighton cleaned us today.
Yeah, no, that's some fair points there. Definitely. And you, I'm sure it's pretty similar, but
Yeah, like the team looked very strong on paper. It's just that I feel that we're not pushing through. When we're on the field, it's a completely different game to what we see on paper. We see all the attackers on. We're seeing our star defenders coming back, or the future. Rob Holding is in the team, and we think, hey, this is the game. This is the game that we're going to push through and actually get the win. But when we start playing, you can see there's like a huge gap between the fence and the strikers. And once the ball gets to the strikers, once it gets there, because there's no creativity in the midfield happening, it's like they are all just chilling. They're waiting for the ball to come onto them instead of trying to run onto the ball.
Looking for
and
that
when they
perfect
hit
goal.
the ball, when they wait for the ball, it's slowing down the game, and that's what Brighton needed. Brighton played well based on paper and what they had on the field. They played really well because they kept us at bay. It was end-to-end, almost in the sense of football that we would see us playing against a top team, but we were just lacking behind, I think we need to start pushing and show that aggression we used to show against teams like Stoke, even though we would get some players getting leg breaks and stuff, but we lacked that in the first half. It was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, no, it's valid points. Eh? From the starting lineup, it was strong, but when it actually came down to following through, we didn't sense it. I think, as Marie said, Saka, he performed. You can see he's going to be a regular because he really had good shots. And with the high balls, I agree. Keeping it low, there's a chance that you can get it on target. But as you saw with Pepe and Saka, the keeper was beat either way. So there was, for me, the defense was a bit shabby. In terms of his makeup, but it still held its line. The Leno incident, and as you said, that was the same guy that scored the second goal to close the game, was the guy that bumped Leno. I felt that was a foul. Obviously they gave a free kick, but it was more than that because Leno was clear for the ball. He literally took him out there. And I think we talk about this week on our show, and I'm sure you guys at your club, the refs, they never kind to us or even do us any justice. It's actually getting frustrating now because you're getting injuries to Leno, who is a pivotal player. Out of everyone, you'd be everybody can get injured except Leno. You don't want him. He's the person you don't want out. And then going into the half year, we kind of looked. I think it felt that once Leno went out, we got a bit discouraged or disheartened. I felt, it felt like, these guys are doing this stuff again to us. No one's getting fouled or getting into the book, yellow cards, red cards, nothing like that. Then when we came out in the second half, it looked a bit better, but the fight wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. And then, we scored Pepe's goal, phenomenal, as per usual. We always knew he had it. Yeah, exactly. And then, well, I'll just let you guys get into it. I don't want to talk about the last two. So, going into the second half, you guys know how it played. So, My friend
It was
would
like-
like to say, press play, let you guys tell us.
No, like the Pepe, that's classic Pepe. If you think about it, if you look at all his goals, if you get it onto his left foot, you know what he's going to do, right? If you give him the space, he's going to finish. He's going to put it up there. The thing is that, but we need to give the ball to him. You know, sometimes we get to the ball to him and he's not in the position where he was running to at the first time because we're slowing the game down. We saw that in previous games as well, especially in the second half where we attacking. Even in the City game, we're attacking and then we turn back and pass backwards. Why? Why don't we continue moving forward? You know, the players are there. Why don't you put it on the right wing, run down and cross in? We never cross the balls in almost. In this game, I probably saw it like 4 times happening in the entire game. We always try to cut in, run through the team, pass until the ball is dead in outside or in the keeper's hands. And I think that's what we're lacking in the second half when we look at it.
We don't have that, like All says. I mean, every single game we play, we're a wing team. We use our wings. The problem is though, we don't have a Thierry Henry who can leap that high. We don't have an Olivier Giroud who can leap that high. And I keep saying, let's go down the middle. Go down the middle. Let's play to our strengths, and let's hit them where it hurts. But the problem is though, teams now know that we are trying to get the ball to either Lacazette or Aubameyang. So what do? They mark them. We need to start shooting with any player. So if someone gets into the box, much like the mentality that Podolski used to have, once he crossed that 6-yard line, or once he was in the box, he took a shot. So they knew that, okay, if Podolski gets into the box, they're going to have to tackle him. So Podolski can either then shoot or pass. But we need more players to shoot. And I know this may go against many fans, but that's what Xhaka brings to the team as well. Those long balls can open up a team. But at the same time, he's not scared to shoot. Yes, he does pass a lot, but every once in a while, he'll throw in a shot. Whether it be wayward or whether it be all over the place, it at least gets the defense thinking, okay, what's going to happen next? Because if they decide then to try and close Xhaka down, he can try and slip a ball through to Aubameyang or whatever, whoever's running onto it. As All says now, you know what Pepper's going to do. He's going to try and get it onto his left foot. But why can't he shoot with his right foot? What else does he have in the arsenal to surprise the defense? Because if he's going to be so predictable about it, I would, as a defender, let him run to the byline. He's not going to cross it. He's going to try and play onto his stronger leg. So close him down, let him, shuffle him in through to the byline, and then you've taken Pepe out of the game. But then who do you have coming up? You've got Bellerin coming up, but then you're taking a defense out of our game. And Bellerin's he's not as fast as he was since he's come back from his injury. Yes. So who's going to be tracking back? We don't have that player. And, Aubameyang, and this is going to be a very touchy subject, Aubameyang and Lacazette, they want all these high flashy salaries, but you're not scoring the goals that you should be scoring. I mean, Aubameyang had that one shot where the keeper parried it away. And I feel that should have been a penalty. I couldn't see any foul whatsoever that Eddie had. But once again, you're shooting up. You've got the power in your legs to actually take those shots on. But then, 5 minutes later, he's trying to take a shot against the ground, and the defender slides in and takes it away. If you want 350,000 a week or 400,000 a week or whatever the case may be, maybe go find another club. Lacazette as well. He's not worth the money. I mean, why don't we bring in? Let's say, for example, I'm a big fan of these, Dybala. Let's put Ozil on the side because Ozil's not playing as much. Bring Dybala in, put Martinelli in front of him. I think they would absolutely do wonders. And if Martinelli's got, or Eddie has got that creative player behind him, not only that, okay, he has the confidence to slip a through ball in, but he's got the confidence to dribble past 4 defenders and then still take a shot and then still score. He knows when to shoot low. He knows when to shoot high. We need that player. Dybala is not being used by Juventus. Let us bring a creative player in. If need be, play Ozil in the team, but play him next to Xhaka in the midfield. And let Xhaka possibly come back, or play 3 in the midfield with Guendouzi coming back and then possibly the defending. Even Chambers. Chambers was an incredible central defensive midfielder when he was playing for Fulham. He was named Player of the Season. Let's bring him in. Let's allow our strikers to have a free role. Let us have a creative player in the middle and then up front to supply our strikers with ball so that we can then try and get the goals. But we need someone who's also going to score. We can't be in the mentality where that, okay, you are the striker, you have to score. Aubameyang is not a 30-goal player or 30-goal per season player anymore. What's happening? He's struggling now to try and get to 15. Jamie Vardy, he's shooting from wherever. Harry Kane, he's got the confidence to shoot. Even if he's got his back to goal, he takes a shot. Why are we not doing this?
I know that's 100%. You guys made I just broke down the whole thing. Yeah, no, definitely, because it goes down to, I feel what you guys pretty much, it feels like they're not driving out the tactics as well. As much as we have this creativity play, as you guys said, with Podolski and stuff like the shooting, I agree 100%. We should be shooting a hell of a lot more with the capability we have. And we saw today Aubameyang's long-range effort just outside the box. That there could have caused the chance. Keep doing that 4 out of 5 chances. You're going to do something out of it. Especially, I feel they try to pack the box and we try to walk the ball in, which was what Earl was saying earlier, was we try to do too much in the center. Then when we get to the last third, we're not really finishing it up. We don't want to walk it in. We want it in, and I think there's the difference between the old Arsenal teams and maybe even the new generation of play. It's like, I used to have a problem with Ozil shooting because he always wanted to make sure it's a goal. And I'm like, no, Don, just shoot. We don't care. Somebody who it might be sloppy. Look how sloppy Brighton's equalizer was. That was sloppy, but we had such a perfect Pepe goal. You know what I mean? And look at the ending of the game. It doesn't really matter. So even the one I saw, the Watford game, I think the defender did a bicycle and then stuff like that. He's like, it could be the best goal of the season, but it doesn't matter because they squared it up to Leicester. It's about getting these crucial goals. And I think Brighton, of course, we when we got the goal, we went on confidence. Then Brighton got it. And then natural Arsenal, we digress. It's like we lose our shape. We lose our kind of play. And then even if I felt there was no creativity today. I really felt it was a very lack of, and I thought they wanted to give it to individuality as opposed to, we know Lacazette and Aubameyang can play well together. We just haven't seen the three, Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang, actually play well together. And is it getting frustrating? Is it getting hard? It is, it's because I don't feel like they're driving out the tactics, or they are for the first 15 to 20, which you could see we were a lot better 15 to 20 minutes in. And then it's like, let's just go to what we know. Okay, Lacazette's good at driving and charging in. Okay, Aubameyang's good at wrapping around the wing. So I think sometimes when, in a Brighton, what could you really see was absolutely positive about them. They just kept going. That's all I could really see. They were strong and they kept going. And maybe it was some mind play and some psychological tactics and maybe a bit of ref. But we, as Arsenal fans, I think we can list those kind of stuff all day. The refs, the kind of tackles that they play, but at the end of the day, it was execution for me. And you guys hit it on the head, the nail on the head when you said we want converting. And then for me, one of the guys we chat to a lot, our residents that we have the show with, they were like, who are the 5 substitutes that we can bring on to change the game? If you're not going to bring on Ozil, who, if you heard the commentator say he's there, you might not want him to be at his best, but who else do you have? You know what I mean? And I was like, that's a valid point, because if you don't have any power and then you look, he's not at 100%, then you got to show us that a Maitland-Niles or whoever, the young kids, Reece Nelson, even I rate Willock and I rate Nketiah, but for me, it's just you're taking chances on these kids and you don't want diehard Arsenal fans to start hating our academy kids because you're putting them in these positions. Like Saka and Martinelli, I don't know, maybe they just cut from a different cloth because they just hit the ground running. And that's another disappointing thing. No Martinelli we saw today. I don't know. So yeah, I think it was all around more over, I would say, lack of defending and then lack of converting, because it just, I don't know. And let's go to the goals that we conceded. Where did you guys
I just want to
Sorry.
I just want to add something on there, right? the Ozil thing, right? If you look at Barcelona, Real Madrid, when their top players are not 100%, they still play them when they need them. Why don't we do the same?
They're supposed to be making an impact. They're supposed to be lifting the other players. And, that's why I'm saying, maybe let's build a team around Reece Nelson. Let's build a team around Martinelli and Eddie and Saka and Maitland-Niles. But then bring in that one major player. I mean, I keep going on about it, but like a Dybala. Let's pay the salary to him. Let's let him sort of influence the others, bring them up to their absolute best. And even when Dybala is 32, 33, at least then if we are still making strides to, sort of challenge for the title, Dybala will still stay with us. He's not being played at Juventus. Let's do it. Let's grab him up. And, also spoke about, not playing forward. We always started losing that confidence when we sold Ramsey. Ramsey was somebody who moved the game forward. He drove through and he pushed through. And as soon as we lost Ramsey, that workhorse in the middle of the midfield, everything went pear-shaped.
The center of the park play has been quite disappointing over the past few weeks or the whole season, actually. We haven't had that. I think we were spoiled because we had that Wenger type of beauty in the park, and then we got angry of it, and then when it's taken away, it's like you never know how much you love something until it's gone. So I suppose if you play like a drier football and try to get out results, you get a bit more frustrated because you can see we can do more. We can do a lot more. And it's right. Like, you remember Traore, that guy, he was like dislocated shoulder, pulled hamstring, and he still plays like 70 minutes of the game, And he's even like, don't take me off. I still want to play. So it's for me, it's these type of decisions that kind of get us like, what are you trying to do? What's happening? We don't have clarity, and we just have to accept these kind of defeats and results, and it gets frustrating because, like, look, now we're down 6 points down where we could have been 6 points up. Yeah, City was a hard game. Everyone's like, oh, you guys would have never win. But at the end of the day, we can't think like that. We go into each game. I think we could have done something, but it didn't work out. And now look, today again, it's like the players that were there on Wednesday weren't here on, so maybe it's a bigger overall problem, But I think we're running a bit out of time, but just to wrap it up a bit, last few questions. Do you have any positives from the game? Anything that you saw that was positive? It's hard, I know.
I think Saka's still got a lot of fight in him. And I think whatever Arteta said to Pepe, I think, it's got something going. So I'm hoping this goal is going to try and spark something. Because, we spent a lot of money on him. We want to see our return on investment. Positives, it's very difficult to say. We've got Southampton now on Thursday. And I think it's going to be an uphill climb now because we don't have Leno. We now have got to rely on our youngsters. And I think, if anything, Arteta now has to focus on the rebuild. He's now got to start thinking of next season. Let's sacrifice Europa. Let us just focus on the league. Let us build a team around the youngsters that we have. We've still got Smith Rowe coming through. That kid was class. Let's start playing these kids. And let's start building for next season. And then Arteta can at least then sort of say, this is what I want. If you don't fit my plan of action, right, cheers, thank you. We'll spend your salary on somebody else. And hopefully we can bring in some decent top players.
So essentially, just to put it into perspective, you're willing to write off the season and, let's say, rebuild and do it again. Let's build from scratch. Because
look, maybe they can surprise us, But over these past two defeats and the way we've played, it's very difficult to try and see any positives because we're still not moving forward. We're still not applying that threat on goal. And we've got now another 4-5 away games. And, teams are going to say, we can't wait to see Arsenal. We can get 3 points of these guys. They haven't got that killer instinct. We're not the team to be feared anymore. So we need to find that again, and we need to really start, these are the results that we should actually... I know. And, look, I'm not writing it off, but I think let's just...
No, the only reason I say that because I was borderlining it. I was like, you know what? There's only so much hope I can have, and... You know, there's like, let's just ride it off because we do need to rebuild. And if they're willing to give Arteta that, let's just do it. Let's support him. Let's do it. Let's not rage at him and get angry because we can see that it's bigger than just a coach and a team issue. It's a foundation. Let's bring it up. Let's actually start working and figuring out game plans. At first, I felt they weren't fit, but you know, and then Arteta worked it in. But yeah, so I think you're right. We'll just have to take it as it comes. 5 away games with our away record, you know, it's and I always and it's surprising because you see Brighton never won a game this year, 2020, and then why does it have to be us? Like, couldn't they just
always
like next year? Like why? Now they're like Brighton, like in their history, they're gonna be like in 2020, our first win was Arsenal. Like we'll be there like for the next 100 years, and like we're like, you know, come on now, you can't be doing this to us.
It's just terrible, man.
I don't know if you can.
I just have one positive. Pepe scored. That's it. That's the only positive that you take from this game is that Pepe scored, and that's it. And of course, well done to Brighton. That's the other positive.
Yeah.
Brighton has been able to do something they haven't done in a millions of years. You know? So that's,
and Willock didn't start. That's also a massive positive.
And no David Luiz.
Oh yes,
the greatest
for the next game or so.
Yeah, no, it was. I think you could only look for. I think you guys hit it again. Like it's only Pepe and really Saka that kind of actually made us feel that this game was. And is it surprising to say that we missed Xhaka? I actually didn't comment on Murray's thing with that switching off the air ball. You know, even with W is out and now no Xhaka there. Do you think we didn't utilize that at all? Well,
I think we do miss those passes because I mean, currently at the moment the opposition's like defending a very high line, and we don't have that player to split that completely open. When Zaka's in the team, they defend a little bit deeper, and that gives us a little bit more room to sort of pass the ball around and play our natural game. But even if they do decide to defend up, we've still got Pepe, we've still got Saka on the left, we've got Aubameyang on the left, who can possibly then break, and if they time their runs, then you know they've got an open field as well.
It is a great tactic.
So yeah, man,
a great play, I would say.
Yeah. So definitely compliments to Brighton. I mean, they deserved the win. They really dug in. They played for the full 100 and however minutes of extra time that they had. But I think also what needs to maybe be what we need to sort of notice is Martinez did have a good game. I think the defense let him down, and he had quite a couple of saves. So, you know, maybe he can pull off a Szczesny now with Leno being injured. I mean, Szczesny got a baptism by fire against Man United. So, you know, he's going to have to step up, and if he wants to make a name or challenge for the first place, this is his time now. And I mean, with our last maybe 8 games of the season, you know, he's got a good chance to sort of prove himself. And yeah, let's hopefully we can get a couple of clean sheets, and you know, I'd even take 1-0 wins for the rest of the season for every single game.
Any win, eh?
Yeah, and we still got FA Cup as well, and that's also going to be challenging. So, you know, do we challenge for the FA Cup and then get put into Europa, or do we, you know, focus on the league and then try and push for that even top 5th place? Because I mean, City might not even be in Champions League. So do we then go for that place as well? We just need to finish up as high as possible.
It's just a setback, eh? And we're rounding it up. I think I can't ask you if you have any negatives, because I think that was pretty much the whole conversation.
We didn't win,
Yeah, but so outstanding player will go to Pepe from our side, or would that?
No one really stood out, yes, I think Pepe because of the goal. I mean, he created the space. I mean, I still said that ball was heading for the corner, you know, the quarter post. And then all of a sudden it started turning in, and I was like, geez, okay, either there's a breeze in the stadium, or that was just a brilliant shot.
That ball. He's skillful, damn.
Guys, my battery's gonna die.
Okay. Let's wrap it up. No, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, PE guys coming all the way. Well, not really, just joining us on this. You know, it's a sad occasion, but we hope to get you on again, eh? And
no, definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Take care. Have a good one.
Cool,
and
guys.
Out there.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Go. Bye.